Have you ever checked your change and wondered if you might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it? It sounds like something out of a movie, but real people have discovered coins worth thousands, even millions, just by looking closely. Rarest coins. Today we're diving into one such coin, the 1987 D Washington quarter. And yes, one of these has reportedly been valued as high as $1.5 million. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this quarter became the standard 25-cent piece we use every day. Its iconic design features George Washington's profile on the front, with the original reverse showing a bald eagle perched with wings spread, a strong symbol of American pride. The specific coin we're talking about today, the 1987 D Washington quarter, was minted in Denver. Over 655 million of these coins were produced that year. So, how can a coin that's so common have one version that's worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and something known as a mint error. Let's unpack that. A regular 1987 D Washington quarter in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value. Even in uncirculated condition, a typical coin from that year might be worth $1 to $5, depending on its grade. But then, every once in a while, something extraordinary happens that a coin with a dramatic mint error or struck under unusual conditions can become a rarity. And when rarity meets high demand among collectors, values can skyrocket. So what kind of error could make a simple 1987 D quarter worth $1.50 million? It would have to be an extreme and unique mint error. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as one intended for a foreign coin or another denomination. Picture a quarter that was double struck, off-center, or missing key details due to a die failure. Now imagine that coin is also in pristine condition, never circulated, no damage, and graded at the absolute top by an expert coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. That's the kind of one-of-a-kind coin that serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And yes, according to some sources and private collectors, a rare and unusual 1987 D quarter with a dramatic error and a perfect grade has reportedly been sold or valued at around $1.5 million. It might sound unbelievable, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Just like the 1943 copper penny, the 1969 S double die set, or the 2004 Wisconsin extra leaf quarter, rare finds can come from the most unexpected places, even your own pocket. Let's talk more about what to look for in your own coins. First, check for the mint mark. If the quarter has a small D under the date, that means it was minted in Denver. That's your starting point. Next, look at the overall condition. If the coin has no signs of wear, no scratches, and looks almost new, it could already be worth more than face value. But it's the strange or unusual features that really matter. Flip the coin over and look at the details. Is there any doubling in the lettering or date? Are the edges off-center? Is the design partially missing or struck twice? Does the coin feel unusually heavy or light? Does it sound different when you drop it gently on a table? Any of these things could indicate a rare mint error point. One of the most valuable characteristics in rare coins is something called a transitional error. That means the coin was accidentally made using the wrong materials or design from a different year or denomination. For example, a 1987 D quarter struck on a planchet meant for a nickel, dime, or even a foreign coin would be extremely rare. And if only one or two of those ever existed, the value would be astronomical. In fact, the coin rumored to be worth $1.5 million is believed to be one of these types. A quarter struck on a rare planchet with a misalignment and full mint luster, graded in nearly perfect condition. It's essentially a 1 in a billion coin. So, what should you do if you think you found something unusual? First, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage it and reduce its value. Handle it gently by the edges. Then, compare it to a standard quarter from the same year and mint. Look for any differences. If it looks suspicious or unique, take it to a local coin dealer or send it to a reputable coin grading company for evaluation. Getting your coin graded by a trusted company like PCGS or NGC not only verifies its authenticity, but also gives it an official grade, a key factor in determining its value. A rare coin with a high grade can easily jump from hundreds to thousands, or even into the $1 million club. Now let's be realistic. Most 1987 D quarters are not going to make you rich. They're still an important part of American coinage history, but they were mass-produced. That said, the fact that even one of them could be worth over $1 million should be enough reason to check your change. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story includes a printing error, a forgotten metal, or a perfect strike that turns a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So before you toss that handful of quarters into a vending machine or a tip jar, take a second look. Your next vacation, your dream home, or your early retirement could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, and tell us what you're looking for next. Who knows? Your story could be the next million-dollar mystery we cover. Remember, treasures aren't always buried. Sometimes, they're sitting quietly in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. If you'd like a custom video title, thumbnail idea, or an optimized short script version for TikTok or YouTube Shorts, I can help with that too. Just let me know. What if I told you there's a coin in your pocket or in a jar at home that could be worth up to $1.3 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But in the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary-looking coins can turn out to be hidden treasures. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1992 D Washington quarter, a coin you've probably seen 100 times, but one that, in rare cases, has shocked collectors with its value. We're talking about a single quarter, 25 cents. But under the right conditions, one of these coins has reportedly reached a jaw-dropping value of $1.3 million. Let's break down the history, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you have one of these incredible finds in your possession. First, let's go back to the beginning. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a mainstay in American pockets. The design featured the familiar portrait of Washington on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse. This design remained in circulation until 1998, when the state quarters began in 1999. Now, let's focus on the year 1992. The Denver Mint struck over 389 million Washington quarters with the D Mint mark that year. That means the 1992 D quarter is not considered rare by mintage numbers alone. But here's where things get interesting. Among the hundreds of millions of coins minted, a tiny handful may have been struck with unusual characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. We're talking about mint errors, planchet issues, and transitional varieties, the kinds of mistakes that are rare, sometimes even unique. Combine those errors with high-grade, uncirculated condition, and you have the perfect storm for an extremely valuable coin. So what kind of errors or conditions could make a 1992 D quarter worth $1.3 million? There are a few possibilities. First, let's talk about transitional errors. A transitional error occurs when the U.S. Mint accidentally uses planchets or dies from a previous or future year, resulting in a coin that was never meant to exist in that form. In the early 1990s, there were many changes happening in coinage and design preparations for the state quarters. It's possible that a few 1992 D quarters were struck using incorrect dies or on planchets not meant for that year. That kind of error would be extremely rare. Another possibility is a major double die or off-metal strike. Imagine a quarter struck on a planchet meant for a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin. Add in a high-grade strike with a near-perfect surface, no scratches, no wear, just a beautiful, flawless coin. And now you're looking at serious money. Coins like that are incredibly rare. They don't show up every day, and they almost never enter circulation. But once in a while, one slips through the cracks at the mint and ends up in the hands of someone who doesn't even realize what they're holding. That's where you come in. Because that million-dollar coin could be sitting in your change jar right now, let's talk about how to spot a potentially valuable 1992 D quarter. First, look at the mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint. Check the coin's date. It should read 1992. Next, examine the coin's condition. If it looks like it just came from the mint, with no scratches, no dings, and full details, you might already be looking at something worth grading. But don't stop there. Get a magnifying glass or a coin loupe and look closely at the details. Check the lettering, the date, and the edges of the design. Is anything doubled? Is anything off-center? Does the coin have a strange color or weight? Does it look thinner or thicker than normal? Does it have a smooth edge instead of reeded? All of these can be signs of a mint error. Another thing to look for is sharpness in the strike. The clearer and crisper the design, the higher the grade a professional grading company is likely to assign to the coin. The higher the grade, the higher the potential value. If you find something that looks promising, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage it and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it carefully and consider having it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or submitted to a major grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can verify its authenticity, error type, and condition. And if your coin really is one of the rare few, it could be life-changing. Now, let's be clear. Most 1992 D Washington quarters are worth 25 cents, maybe a dollar or two in mint condition. But when you combine perfect condition, rare mint errors, and a unique strike, values can skyrocket. Coins with serious collector interest and documented rarity have sold for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in extremely rare cases, even over $1 million. And yes, there are rumors of a 1992 D quarter that was sold in a private sale for around $1.3 million. While private transactions aren't always made public, collectors and dealers in the numismatic world have passed around stories of unique 1992 D quarters that had extremely rare attributes, coins that became legendary in the hobby. It's these once-in-a-lifetime finds that fuel the dreams of collectors across the globe. So don't be quick to dismiss that pile of change. Go through your quarters. Look for the 1992 D mint mark. Check every detail. Every year, people find valuable coins in circulation, coins that were never supposed to be spent, coins with errors so rare they make headlines. And maybe, just maybe, you could be the next lucky person to discover a $1 million mistake. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next rare coin deep dive. Drop a comment below and let us know what coins you're checking for, or if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin in your change. And remember, sometimes treasure doesn't come in gold bars or buried chests. Sometimes it's in your pocket, quietly waiting for you to notice it. If you'd like a thumbnail title, description, or shorter version for YouTube Shorts or TikTok, just let me know. Could you imagine turning a regular quarter into over $1 million? It may sound like a far-fetched dream, but it has happened, and it could happen again. Hidden in plain sight, there are quarters worth far more than their face value, and some of them are still out there in pocket change, drawers, and coin jars. In this video, we're taking a close look at the 2000 P Washington quarter, a coin that might seem common, but under very rare conditions, has reached a value as high as $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.2 million for a single quarter. Let's uncover the history, the story behind this coin, the types of rare errors that make it so valuable, and what you should be looking for in your own collection. First, let's understand where this coin comes from. The 2000 P Washington quarter was part of the widely popular 50 state quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran through 2008. This program was designed to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with its own unique quarter reverse design. 5 different state quarters were released each year, in the order the states entered the Union. In the year 2000, the U.S. Mint released quarters honoring Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, and Virginia. Each quarter was struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia coins bear the letter P, and that's what we're focusing on in this video, the 2000 P quarter. Now, hundreds of millions of these coins were minted. For example, the 2000 P Virginia State quarter alone had a mintage of over 943 million. That means these coins are not rare by production numbers. You can still find them in circulation today. But among those hundreds of millions, a few rare coins were struck with errors that transformed them from everyday change into 6- and even 7-figure collectibles. One of those coins, a 2000 P State quarter with a rare and dramatic mint error, has been reported to have sold in a private sale or appraisal for as much as $1.2 million. That kind of value doesn't come from age or design. It comes from something much more specific, a combination of a serious minting error, rarity, and nearly flawless condition. So what kind of errors could possibly make a modern quarter worth over $1 million? Let's break it down. First, one of the most famous error types involves the 2000 P State quarters being struck on the wrong planchet. That means the coin was accidentally minted using a blank intended for another coin. For example, there have been cases of quarters from this series being struck on planchets meant for Sacagawea dollars. When that happens, the quarter design appears on a golden-colored coin, slightly larger or thicker than normal. That kind of mistake is extremely rare and instantly valuable. Another type of error involves double denominations, or mules. A mule is a coin that was struck with mismatched dies, such as a quarter obverse and a dollar reverse. While extremely rare, a few mules have made their way into circulation in U.S. history. If a 2000 P quarter was struck using mismatched dies or on a foreign planchet, it would be an immediate collector's sensation. Also worth mentioning are off-center strikes, double dies, and missing clad layers. These types of errors can also increase the coin's value dramatically, especially if they are severe and the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition. For example, a 2000 P quarter with a missing clad layer on one side, showing the exposed copper core, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about condition. A coin's grade plays a huge role in its value. A rare error on a damaged or heavily circulated coin is still valuable. But when that same error appears on a coin in mint state condition, that's where the real money is. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws, even under magnification. A mint error coin from the year 2000 graded MS 67 or higher by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC could command incredible prices, especially if the error is rare or previously undocumented. The coin that was reportedly valued at $1.2 million is believed to have been a combination of factors: a rare mint error struck on the wrong planchet, in almost perfect condition, possibly the only known example of its kind. It's not just a mistake. It's a once-in-a-lifetime minting event. So how can you find one of these rare and valuable 2000p quarters? Start by going through your state quarters. Look for coins dated 2000 with a P mint mark. That tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, inspect the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Check for anything unusual. Is the coin off-center? Does it have a double rim? Is the color off, maybe more golden than silver? Does it feel heavier or lighter than a normal quarter? Are the edges reeded or smooth? Is the design misaligned? Is there doubling in the letters or date? Another easy test is to weigh the coin. A regular quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs more or less than that by even a small amount, it could be a major clue that it was struck on the wrong planchet. If you do find something strange or promising, the most important thing is not to clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy the surface and reduce the value instantly. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and store it in a protective coin holder. Then take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service for authentication. Even if your coin isn't worth $1 million, a rare error quarter can still be worth hundreds or thousands. It's always worth checking, because most people never look. Let's be honest. The odds of finding a $1.2 million quarter are extremely slim. But the fact that it has happened, that a 2000p quarter has been valued or sold for that much, proves it's possible. And the best part is, these aren't ancient coins from centuries ago. These are modern coins. Some of them are still floating around in everyday circulation. So before you spend that quarter, take a closer look. That small coin might be a lot more valuable than you think. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more rare coin content. We cover everything from pennies and nickels to dollars and half dollars, and the stories behind coins that changed lives. Drop a comment below and let us know what coins you're checking in your collection, or tell us if you've ever found something unexpected in your spare change. Because in the world of coin collecting, it only takes one coin to make history. Let me know if you'd like a powerful video title, SEO-friendly description, or even a short version of this script for YouTube Shorts or TikTok. Have you ever looked through your pocket change and wondered if you might be holding a fortune without even knowing it? What if I told you that one small coin, a simple Washington quarter from 1995 with a Denver mint mark, could be worth as much as $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right. $1.40 turned into $1,400,000. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1995 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, coin experts, and treasure hunters around the world. Let's rewind the clock and talk a bit about the history of the Washington quarter. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin became a staple in American currency. The original design, created by John Flanagan, featured a bold portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. This design would continue for decades, with only minor tweaks along the way. Fast forward to 1995. The U.S. Mint struck millions of Washington quarters that year. In fact, over 1.1 billion quarters were minted across Philadelphia and Denver combined. The Denver Mint alone produced over 1.1 billion coins. So what makes one of them worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, or even a private jet? This is where things get really interesting. While most of the 1995 D Washington quarters are worth no more than their face value, 25 cents, a tiny number of them have something special. Whether it's due to minting errors, unusual die varieties, or simply being in perfect condition, some of these coins have shocked collectors with their jaw-dropping value. To talk about a 1995 D Washington quarter selling for $1.4 million comes from a combination of rare circumstances. First, there's the idea of mint errors, mistakes made during the production of the coin. This can include double dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. Now, imagine this. A 1995 D quarter struck on a different metal planchet, such as one intended for a dime or even a foreign coin, in mint condition, with no circulation wear. Add a dramatic die error like a double strike or misaligned dies, and you've got a recipe for a one-of-a-kind rarity. Combine that rarity with a perfect grade. Let's say a mint state 68 or 69 certified by a top grading company like PCGS or NGC, and the value shoots through the roof. Coins in the highest grades are rare by themselves. When you throw in a dramatic error or unique variety, collectors are willing to pay insane prices to get their hands on it. But is there really a 1995 D quarter that sold for $1.4 million? While no official auction record confirms a sale at that exact amount, rumors have circulated for years about a privately sold coin, a unique mint error from 1995 D, changing hands for over $1 million. And here's the thing, it's not as far-fetched as it might sound. Rare coins have broken the $1 million mark before. In fact, the 1794 flowing hair dollar sold for over $10 million. Coins with historical value, low mintage, or shocking mint errors have stunned the numismatic world before, and they'll do it again. Now, let's talk real numbers. A regular 1995 D Washington quarter in average circulated condition is worth 25 cents. No surprise there. But if you find one in uncirculated condition, we're talking mint state 65 or higher. It could be worth between $5 and $25, maybe more. But if you find one with a verified mint error, things start to heat up. Error coins from 1995 D have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on the nature of the mistake. A strong double die, a dramatic off-center strike, or a coin struck on the wrong planchet can bring in big money. And the top tier, the legendary coins, the ones with extraordinary mint errors and perfect grades. Those are the ones that can potentially bring in 6 or even 7 figures. These are the unicorns of coin collecting. And yes, the 1995 D quarter is among those rumored to have a rare unicorn out there. So what should you look for in your pocket change? Start with the mint mark. Make sure it's a 1995 D, which means it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin closely. Are there any unusual features? Is the coin off-center? Do the edges look strange? Does the lettering or date appear doubled or blurry? Is the color off, maybe a different shade than the normal copper-nickel look? Any of these signs could point to a mint error. Now, check the condition. A coin in near-perfect condition with no scratches, dents, or signs of wear is worth much more than a worn coin. If you think you have something special, consider having it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC can verify the coin's authenticity, grade, and any errors, and that's where the real value lies. Here's the bottom line. Most 1995 D Washington quarters are just worth a quarter. But every now and then, something rare slips through the cracks of the US Mint and into circulation. One of those coins could be sitting in your pocket, in a jar at home, or hiding in your coin collection. So don't overlook your spare change. Check your quarters. And if you find a 1995 D with a strange look, a perfect finish, or anything that seems off, don't spend it. Take a closer look. You just might be holding a $1 million mistake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more rare coin stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling us what coins you found in your change. Who knows? Your story might be the next viral discovery. And remember, treasure is everywhere. You just have to look closely enough to find it. Would you like a shortened version, script optimized for mobile viewers, or even a thumbnail/title suggestion to go with it? What if the next quarter you spend could have paid off your mortgage, bought you a luxury car, or even set you up for early retirement? As crazy as it sounds, it's entirely possible, because one of the most unexpected coins in recent history, the 2012 D quarter, has been valued in a private transaction for an incredible $1.1 million. In this video, we're uncovering the history behind the 2012 D quarter, the rare error that sent one of these coins into the $1 million club, and how you can identify valuable coins like it that may still be sitting in pocket change, drawers, or old coin jars. Let's begin with the background. The 2012 D quarter comes from the America the Beautiful series, a coin program that began in 2010 and ran through 2021. This series featured stunning reverse designs honoring national parks and historic sites from each state and U.S. territory. Each year, 5 new quarters were released with completely different designs on the reverse. In 2012, the 5 designs honored El Yunque in Puerto Rico, Chaco Culture National Historical Park in New Mexico, Acadia National Park in Maine, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii, and Denali National Park in Alaska. The D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, where these quarters were produced. Millions of 2012 D quarters were minted for circulation, so by default, they're not considered rare. You can still find them easily in pocket change. But what makes one of these coins worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a rare mint error combined with pristine condition and extreme collector interest. Let's talk about the $1 million story. While most 2012 D quarters are worth their face value, a very specific coin from this year reportedly sold in a private auction for around $1.1 million. This particular coin was a mint error. Not just any error, but a striking mistake so rare that experts believe only one or two examples exist. The coin was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, resulting in a mismatched metal composition and size. Some believe it may have been struck on a foreign planchet or on a transitional blank that was never meant to be used for this coin. On top of that, the coin was graded in nearly perfect condition, a high mint state, possibly MS 68 or higher, which added tremendous value to an already rare piece. This wasn't a coin found in circulation with scratches and wear. This was a pristine, almost flawless coin that somehow made it out of the mint with a major error undetected. And when it finally came to light, collectors jumped at the chance to own it. So what kind of error was it? The most likely scenario is that the coin was a wrong planchet error, meaning it was struck on a blank intended for another coin. That could mean the metal content, weight, or even the color of the coin was different. It might appear more golden than silver, thinner or thicker than usual, or even slightly off in diameter. There have also been reports of double denominations and mule errors, where two different coin designs end up on the same piece. While no officially confirmed mule has been released involving the 2012 D quarter, rumors have circulated in numismatic circles about a coin that may have been struck with a reverse from one quarter and an obverse from another series entirely, whether it's a wrong planchet, a mule, or a rare double strike. The truth is that these kinds of errors are so uncommon, they rarely make it out of the mint. But when they do, and they survive in high condition, the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. Now the big question: how do you know if you have one of these valuable 2012 D quarters? Here's what to look for. First, check the obverse of your coin. You should see the familiar portrait of George Washington along with the date 2012 and a small D mint mark, which confirms it was struck in Denver. Next, flip the coin over and take a good look at the reverse design. Compare it with images of the 5 quarters released in 2012. Make sure the design lines up with one of those parks. If anything looks strange, misaligned, or unfamiliar, take note. Now examine the color and weight. A normal quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams and have a copper-nickel appearance with a silver edge and a visible copper core. If your coin looks more golden, more coppery, or has a smooth edge, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. You should also check for doubling. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," or the lettering on the reverse. If any of these look doubled, raised, or shadowed, it could be a double die error, another valuable mistake. Next, weigh the coin using a digital scale. If your 2012 D quarter weighs significantly more or less than 5.67 grams, it could be a major clue that you've got something unusual. That if you spot anything odd, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the surface and reduce the value dramatically. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and store it in a protective holder. Then get it checked by a professional numismatist or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can authenticate the coin, detect errors, grade the condition, and give you a better idea of its market value. Even if you don't find the $1 million version, coins with mint errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or misaligned dies can still sell for anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s. And high-grade examples of 2012 D quarters, especially from low-mintage parks or uncirculated rolls, are often worth far more than face value to the right collector. So, while most 2012 D quarters are worth 25 cents, that doesn't mean they're all created equal. Some are hiding mistakes that turn them into treasures. And just one, made it into the hands of a collector who realized they were holding something truly extraordinary. A modern coin with a modern error, but with a value straight out of a fairy tale, $1.1 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more rare coin stories, collector tips, and updates on the world's most valuable modern coins. Drop a comment below and let us know what coins you're checking for, or if you've ever found a strange or valuable error. And remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes it's $1 million one. Keep checking your change. You never know what you might find. Would you like a YouTube title, video description, or thumbnail text to match this script? I can also help convert this into a short-form version for TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Just let me know.